Ladies and gentlemen, Hex community of all ages, hey, Jake Freedom here, coming to you live from YouTube for this week's Hex Update Saturday for November 15th, November 15th, 2014. And the past week here, not a whole lot has happened in Hex as far as, news and information or patches or updates, things like that, but we did have a couple really exciting announcements, though I think they're exciting anyway, and one of those being the introduction of 1v1 queues. And the reasoning behind the 1v1 queues, according to CZE or HEX, is that there's a lot of player-created tournaments that have been happening, such as the one that I'm holding, the Rainbow Tournament, or you have the Rock League, you have the Budget Cup, and the most recent one I think is November tournament. I forget the name of it right offhand now. November Open, I think is what it's called. And so basically most player-run tournaments are best of 3, and basically the 1v1 queues is just you go into there, you have your opponent come in there, and it's a best of 3 tournament style, and it has the timers, and then it has in between rounds for the sideboarding. Just gives a little bit more authenticity to the actual tournament instead of just having to go and challenge your opponent, and then just in between rounds, try to keep that 2-minute time period to, within the 2 minutes there, instead of having to take more or less time, or more time than a person normally would. So I personally think the 1v1 queues are really good piece to the game. What I would like to see CZ do with the tournaments is that I'd like to see them implement an option where players can actually go in and create their own tournaments with their own set of rules, whether or not they allow sideboarding, the time limits, the style of tournament, something along those lines. I don't know if you ever played any other games in the past where you can create a lobby yourself and you can set your own rules and define certain parameters of the actual tournament. If they implemented something like that, I think that'd be really neat. Whether or not they do, who knows? It's going to be way far down the line, I'm sure, if they even think about doing something like that. But that'd be really neat if they did that. So on to the next thing that is really cool, and it's the announcement of Shattered Destiny, the release date, and that's actually going to be on November 32nd. I read that and I'm like, November 32nd, they've got to be talking about December 2nd, and actually they are. They wanted it to release it in November. That was their target, so they just were being funny and just said November 32nd. And basically what they say here is that the Shattered Destiny is coming November 32nd. We're very close to putting the finishing touches on Shattered Destiny and have targeted November 32nd for its release. The second set from HEX Shards of Fate introduces new gameplay strategies and over 200 more cards for players to collect, sell, and trade. Now we've all seen some of the releases of the cards, or the spoilers, I guess I should say, for Shattered Destiny, and all of them have been really cool. Granted, I think all of them that we have seen have either been a rare or a legendary. I think most of them have probably been legendaries, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But, there's going to be a new mechanic that's introduced. It's called tunneling. I think, if I remember correctly, I should have pulled it up here, but tunneling is where you can basically have your card flipped over, your opponent can't see, and you can then untunnel him at a certain point in time, and then then he's revealed. It sounds very similar to the morph ability that came out in the other game that some of us like, some of us may not like, called Morph. Sounds very similar to that. I'm not sure if it is. I'll go back and check out what tunneling actually is, that mechanic there, but that's one of the new mechanics that's coming in. There's also another mechanic too coming. I don't remember what it is, but I'm really excited to see these new mechanics and how it's gonna change the gameplay, how the new set's gonna interact with set 1 and things like that. So what we have, there's a few cards here that they've shown, and we'll go ahead and bring these up here and just take a look at them. Some of them are really neat. Reese the Crust Crawler, he's really cool. He's a 5-cost, 1 threshold Sapphire. He's a 4/4, and he is a legendary, and he has tunneling 4. And a basic action, you can tunnel him for 2. And then it says, at the end of your turn, create a worker bot and put it into play. When this card surfaces, when Reese surfaces, he gets, if one of your cards or effects would create a worker bot, create a random robot instead. I think he's going to be pretty powerful with the dwarf decks, the dwarf robot decks, and obviously that's probably their their goal in mind when they created Reese here. So he's going to be really neat. This other card here, Scheme, I think it's going to be pretty powerful. I don't know if it'll have a lot of use in constructed play, but I think it's going to be really powerful maybe in draft or sealed play. It's a 2 cost, 2 threshold Sapphire, and it's a basic action. It says choose an action in your deck, create 4 cards with that card's name and put them into your deck. Since it creates 4, you could potentially create a deck that has that how do I want to say that? I'm not sure exactly what I want to say. I have lost for words there, but it creates 4 of them. So let's just say you play two of these schemes, and you say you have, well, let's just use Ragefire for example. So now all of a sudden you'll have the original Ragefire. You'll have this guy. He'll create 4. Now you have 5. If you pull him up again, then you have 9. You'll have 9 Ragefires. And we all know Ragefire has the escalation of 2 every time. So it could be pretty powerful along those lines. And the cool thing is it just says choose an action in your deck. It doesn't. So it could be a quick action. It could be a basic action. It doesn't matter what it is. So I think this will probably be really powerful with quick actions and not necessarily basic actions. But again, it could be powerful with basic actions too. Like just say evolve. Is it Slaughter or Onslaught? The card that gives everything +3/+3 and crush that turn in the the Shinhir deck. The possibilities are basically endless with this card here and what you can do with any action card, whether it be basic or quick. So that's really cool. I like that card a lot. Interested to see how much play some of the new cards get. And it won't be very long. What, a couple more weeks, 3 weeks here? So you should want to, about 2.5 weeks, somewhere right around there before the release. So great news there. So and they go to say here, November 32nd. Yes, it's actually December 2nd. We wanted to release it in November, but we didn't want to have players reschedule the VIP weekend time to release Shattered Destiny, nor did we want to release on a holiday weekend. So this is the best date for the players, according to them, which is actually really nice. Let's see here. Release celebration Friday, December 5th to Monday, December 8th. To mark the launch of Shattered Destiny, we are holding a release celebration weekend. Players will be able to obtain 2 exclusive alternate art cards from the new set available in special release celebration 8-player tournaments in booster draft and sealed decks. So that's really cool. Participation card is a Darkspire Punisher alternate art. And you have the prize card, the Filk. I think it's how you pronounce that, Filk Ape. So if we look at Darkspire, I'm gonna think that Darkspire is really gonna come into play in the Shattered Destiny set here. Because right now we have the Darkspire Priestess and the Darkspire Enforcer, and I like playing that. I think they're underrated for what they are. And I think their value is really going to go up when the new set comes out, because I'm going to guess they're going to have more Darkspire stuff. So anyway, this Darkspire Punisher is a 3 cost, 2 threshold blood card. And when this dies, choose 1 at random. Each opposing champion discards a card at random, or search your deck for a troop with Darkspire in its name and put it into your hand. Very similar to how the other Darkspire cards work. I don't really like the discarding, but each champion has to do it, so it's fine. And he's a 2/2. So maybe not the, I don't know, maybe not the best value, especially if if you lose a card on it, but that's the way the Darkspire stuff goes. So the other one here is a 5 cost, 2 threshold wild. He's a troop beast 4/5. At the end of your turn, revert all troops. That could be something right there. And since it's not just your troops, it's all troops, I think there's going to be a really cool gameplay around this guy right here. I saw some people talking about it, and just for the simple fact that it reverts all troops, if you're playing against somebody who's got some buffs on a card, that you can't really handle, drop this guy, get him, and it doesn't even have to die, it's just at the end of your turn, revert all troops. So, let's see here. This I can think of right offhand, since we're in the wild shard here. Honeycap. He would probably revert basically any card that has buffs or debuffs on them. You can revert them. It'll revert them automatically at the end of your turn. So very cool card. Like him a lot. And let's see here, where they go down and say the special tournaments, or the release celebration tournaments, will start Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time and end at 10 a.m. Pacific time that Monday. So make sure you log in to take your shot at the prize. The release celebration is 3 days long. Competitive draft queues, 8 players. Entry fee is 700 plat, or 3 set 2 boosters plus 100 plat. The prizes are: the first will be 5 set 2 boosters, the prize alternate art card, and the participation alternate art card. Second place is 3 set 2 boosters, a participation alternate art card. Third and fourth get two booster packs and the participation alternate art card. 5th through 8th you get the participation alternate art card. And gold single, and the gold is a single elimination tournament. Gold is standardized, see above format. So yeah, not a whole, no, not bad. 100 plat and 3 boosters, just like any normal draft would be, or the 700 plat, whatever you want to do. So let's see here. See, that was for the competitive draft. Now you just have the normal draft queue, and this one here is the, let's see here, 3 booster packs, again plus 100 plat or 700 plat. And this one here is, you have 3 wins, you get three packs, and the prize card and the participation card and 20,000 gold. 2 wins, you get 2 packs, the participation card and 12,000 gold. 1 win, you get 1 pack, the participation card and 5,000 gold. And if you have 0 wins, you get 0 packs. You get the participation card though, and 5,000 gold. And obviously that format is going to be Swiss. And then they have the sealed queue. Sealed queue is a little more expensive to get into. It's 1,400 plat or 6 booster packs plus 200 platinum. And the payouts there are a little bit different. You get 6 boosters and 40,000 gold plus the cards for 3 wins. 2 wins are 4 boosters. The participation card, 24,000 gold, and so on and so forth there. So that's pretty neat. The Accidental Night, the book that's coming out, is the first HEX novel. The Accidental Night will be available for download on November 18th. That's just 3 days from now. For players who backed during the 30-day Kickstarter campaign. Now, I think I said last week it was for Kickstarters and Slacker backers, and I was mistaken. It's not. It's just for Kickstarters. It's Kickstarters themselves get it for free, and they'll be able to download it. If you want to read it, and you weren't a Kickstarter, or if you weren't a Kickstarter, if you were something else, you just got in the game, or you're a Slacker backer, you can purchase the book for a very low price of $4.99. So they say, for the low price of $4.99. And so it's going to be available as an ebook. It's digital only. So I'm pretty excited for that. I'm definitely going to get that just to read it, because I'm interested to see how it reads, and it should be a pretty good story. Then they go on and talk about the 2-player queues there again. So again, not a whole lot has happened. Just the major update there was the announcement for release of Shattered Destiny. So that's good stuff there altogether. So yeah, let's get on to the card opening there. And again, I do not have the players that won. I apologize. You guys will obviously get your cards in game there. I'll get that done as soon as this video is up. I don't know if it matters if I announce the winners or not. So I don't have them up though. Oh well, let's just go ahead and get to this week's pack opening, and we'll see what we get here. Last week opened up on a legendary. Maybe we'll get it this time again. Let's take a look. Chances are very slim, but it could happen. It's rare. Okay. So our cards this week, and this is only going to happen for, let's see here. What's today's date? One more time we'll do a normal pack, and then we'll do the primal pack at the end of the month here, obviously. And then the first update in December, that'll be a set 2 booster pack we'll open up. So what we got here for commons, we have Spearcliff Pegasus, Wailing Banshee, Tyrannosaurus Hex, Heavy Welding Bot, Scrap Welder, Bravery, Nature Reigns, Wrathseeker, Adaptable Infusion Device, Determined Zombie, and Mystic of the Tranquil Dream. That's for our commons. Our uncommons are Experimental Warhulk, Chimera Guard Outrider, I think that's how you say his name, and then Neblin Skirmisher. And then for our rare, we have Gore Feast of Cog Tepetol, 4 cost, 2 threshold ruby, And he's a basic action. Troops you control get Rage 1 this turn. After the first post-combat main phase this turn, there's an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase at the start of that combat phase. Ready each troop that attacked this turn. So basically you get two combat phases with this particular card here. So that is the pack there, and we get a rare chest. That's pretty cool. Let me know what your top 5 picks are for this week in the comments down below. Other than that, I don't have a whole heck of a lot. That's going to be it. The tournament's going well. We're into round 3 right now. I appreciate all those who are participating. The pairings seem to be working out pretty well. We've had a couple of players drop, and that's okay. So I think we're probably gonna go maybe 6 rounds. If everybody continues to play, we'll go probably 7. But I'm gonna guess it's probably only gonna go 6. But we'll see how it turns out. Other than that, if you like the video, go and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of these videos, don't forget to click subscribe down below, and we'll have another video for you soon.